Hello everyone, this is Dominic. You may also know me as Pano Man, or even Wolflord Vidar. I've seen there's a lot of people who's new to this entire hobby of trying to make photos and make templates and make homebrew. And as someone who has some experience in the field and has made some good art, I thought it'd be a good idea to make like a little series showing you how I make my art, which should translate to you being able to make art. I will try to only keep it to one topic per video to not clog up the thing. So right here we have a template made by our admin Algrim. It's really good, and I've named the template base. So today I'll be showing you how I actually colored a marine in solid colors. So first things first, I need to create a new layer. And I need to choose my color. For this I chose a very bright red. And if you paint it on right now, you'll notice that it just comes out on a blob. And the reason why this is because you're not telling the system to do anything with it. That's where, if you come over here, you'll see that there's all these different options, and they all do different things. Myself, I only really use multiply and overlay. I mainly use overlay. I've barely ever used multiply. All these options have different things, and I suggest you test them out on your own time. I have heard some people say that the color mixer brush works, but this is how I learned how to do it. This is just the way I preferred how to do it. So after you get your area colored, as so, what I generally do is I go to base, and I just grab my magic wand, I turn it up to a pretty high thing, and I click outside. What this will do is it will select everything outside of the marine, anything that's not connected. There's this contagious thing up here, or continuous. If you turn it off and you click, it'll go in all the holes. I generally go like this, as I don't need to do all of that. And then you go up to your layer, and you click delete. And it will delete everything outside of that line. But if you zoom in, you'll see you have these kind of harsh lines. So what I'll generally do is I'll go up here to refine edge. And I generally just go 1 for feather. This will essentially tell the system to do what you told it to do, but to give it like a 1 pixel room where it's a little bit more softer. In doing so, you'll get a much better result. Of course, if you click it more, because it's technically doing it more softer, it will get a more harsh line. So now you have your red, and you painted it somewhere you don't want to. Example, here or here. It's as simple as just grabbing your eraser and just erasing where you want it to. And before you think this is going to be very hard, I do this all with a mouse. Of course, you also could just simply grab something like this and click the exact area you don't want, and then you just erase with the delete key. Now you got this red. And a problem I've seen a lot of people do when they first start is they'll choose a red like this and they'll be done. And while this red doesn't look too bad, in my opinion, it's a little bright. It's a little popping out for my feel. Or if it's just not what you want, what I'll generally do is I'll go to this hue and saturation. By the way, except for I was saying this earlier, I generally name every single layer I make so I can know what it is. Because when you start making some more complicated pieces, as you've probably seen me or Algrim or anyone else on the server do, there can be a lot of layers, and you can easily lose what you want. So once you get that done, you come over here, and it's just simple. You drag it, and you can change it to any color you want. I'll change it over to this lime. And same saturation, doesn't really do much. It just makes it more popping, more, solid of a color. I generally turn it down a little bit to get a little bit more of a faded look. And you also can do the same to this. Turn it all the way up, you get a nice bright white. Turn it all the way down, you get a really dark black. But generally, I look for an area. Actually, let's turn this more to a orange because it's easier to see. So you can see at 0, it's not that bad of an orange. But if you turn it down, it kind of fades it out and makes it less popping out, which in my opinion makes it look better. But with the hue and saturation key, even after you color something, you could just do all of this. And something I need to say right now is always click this and make sure there's always an arrow pointing down to your thing. That basically telling you that it's only applying that to the layer underneath it. Because if you don't, and you were to start messing around, as you can see, it starts to change the color of everything and makes everything else dark. Not what you want. You want it to only affect this one layer. And with that, we have done coloring. Next time, I will touch upon how I will turn things from black to white. Once again, these may not be the most best and efficient ways of doing it. This is just how I do it. And I always find it easy. Thank you for watching.